Welcome everybody to another live show with Sunday with Sparky. Let's see. I didn't do anything, just like I said I wouldn't from yesterday. Well, that's not exactly true. I did sand off the strips. So what you have here is a structure that's pretty simple to make. It'll be strong, light, and straight. So we'll just touch it up a little bit here. This is 180 grit sandpaper on a sanding block that I made myself. Just a piece of 1/4 inch. And just like yesterday, we'll take the slow set CA. Thanks for the like. Like, subscribe, share. Hey, when you subscribe, make sure that you ring that bell so you get notifications of when I'm coming online. The guy asked me yesterday, when can he be notified? Well, you're notified by ringing that bell. So, we'll go ahead and put the glue down and get this glued together, and we'll try to keep glue to a minimum. And what I mean by that, you know, this glue doesn't evaporate. So if you put 1 or 2 bottles of glue on, that's how much weight you put on your airplane. It's not like white glue that and make sure to get all the ribs. Now we have one shot to get this on again. Everything about model airplane building is basically one shot, I found. You get one chance. So it was marked what side goes where. Center it up. You can feel it getting warm, so you know that the oxygen is coming out of it, and perfectly straight. Now just block sand it. A lot of guys have been talking to me about, or I'm not talking to me, but I've heard, you know, they like the square trailing edges. They say it performs better. I don't know. I like round. I make mine round. 6 to 1, half dozen in the other, I guess. I guess I could get out the router and route that trailing edge today. Show you how I do that. And I've shown that before. Is this the absolute lightest way to do things? Not really. Like I said, the lightest way is with a solid piece of wood, but I just don't have any of that 3-pound wood. So we got to make do with what we got. I'll give you a weight on this to see what it weighs. I think it's around 6/10. But I'll sand a little bit of that off, so it should be around a 1/2 ounce when it's finished. Six-tenths exactly. So we need to sand a little bit of that off to get it down to 5/10. We'll switch to 180. Nine playbacks, 3 watchers, and no questions. How many of you guys are watching Hobby Show TV? It's in Portuguese. Can't understand a thing except model airplane. They got some neat stuff over there. Will we be able to make it a 1/2 ounce? That's what I want to know. So, I need to knock this edge off. Give me a second here to find my tool. There it is. Okay. This is a tool that John made for me. It's a piece of, looks to be like 1/2 inch brass tubing that he sawed lengthwise and then soldered an 1/8 inch handle on it. And so it makes a good leading edge sander. But the first thing I want to do is knock some of that wood off to make it easy. We like easy. Now the problem with this is that this in this area here, I'm going to have to sand that in. See how nice and easy that works when you don't have it sticking out a million miles. Only taking off 15 thousandths out of whack. Remember, this is the ball that goes in the socket, so it's got to be round. A lot of guys taper them. I mean, if you want to taper them, that's fine. But you're not going to take a nice clean hinge with the system like I use. I've been using this system now, I guess, about 10 years. I knew about it 30 years ago, or let's see, how long have I been sober? I knew about it 29 years ago, but didn't figure it out until I was sitting on the couch one day watching a TV program. Let's see, Eddie Sutter. Yeah, PVC, that works. Okay. Yeah, come on. Yeah, PVC sounds like a good idea for big. For big leading edges and stuff. Looks like I'm going to have to glue this in here. CA. It doesn't want to cooperate. That's okay. Morning, Dennis. Okay. You have to be careful with this tool because you will dig a trench. So it takes a little practice to learn how to use it and get away with it. But it won't take you long to catch on. Okay, we got that ready to go. And it puts a nice round edge on it, like so. Now I got to work on this end. I have to do it with my round block because of the nature of what's happening here. We better put a mark on this or else I'm going to lose my position. Okay, we got a good mark on there now. The drill hole. This is always a tough spot to make look right. Damn. I think I'm about as far as I can go with that grit sandpaper without narfing it up. So we're gonna drop down to 320. See if we got yeah. Down to, we lost 2 grams. So get some 320. I'm taking the edge off so that it's round instead of Have it a spot on it. Happy little sanding. Now that wouldn't look very good on the end there, so we have to do something about that. So I need to take some off of the thickness. So we're going to take it about down in half. And most of this stuff that I do is like painting a picture, you know. It's in your eye. Especially on these freestyle airplanes where there are no plans. Doesn't have to look like anything. And I'll wait to finish the final shape when it's all fitted together so that it all flows together. So basically, what we have here is, people ask me why did I do the tips round? Because it goes together like so. Let's see here, I need to sand a little bit more on that. These things are can be pretty dangerous. You can break these off pretty easy. So when you finally get it to final shape, before you cover it, saturate this area with CA. Because invariably you'll catch it on something and it'll break off. I don't think my Monato's that way, but my Classic Continental's that way. Well, guys, instead of sitting around and watching me sand, pick a topic. Let's talk about something. If you want, I can do a members only hangout. Been meaning to do one of them. There's been so much going on that it's hard to keep up with all the crap. Four likes, 11 watchers. I know there's some Top Guns watching me and they just don't want to say nothing. And you know how I know that? Some of my stuff is leaking over into the world. And that's okay. So we were down to 18. Let's see if we can get it down to 17. And I got to work on the stab. That's pretty close to finished, actually, roughed in finished. So now I need to match that turn to that. That's pretty close. Let's see if I took a little bit off there. You can dink with this stuff. And make everything perfect, but if it's close, I mean... Okay, let's cut the groove, I guess. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around here. Uh-oh. Just had lightning strike. We may lose power. Okay, Eddie, that's a good question. How do I know what's the right size? I've mentioned it several times. The stabilizer is half the distance of the wing. So if you have a 30-inch wing or a 60-inch wing, you have a 30-inch stabilizer for high aspect. This is low aspect because it's 4 inches wide, so it's 28 inches. So the way that I do things, it's the width of the stabilizer and the length is all dependent on the size of the wood. Now you'll notice that the elevator is slightly, and I do mean slightly, like 3/16 of an inch wider at the root than the stabilizer. That's because this is 3 7/8 and this is 4 inches. Hey, Greg. Okay, weights and airplane sizes. What I have found for the rule of thumb in my 55 years of building airplanes is that it's going to work out to be about 1 ounce per inch. So if you have a 60-inch wingspan, it's going to weigh 60 ounces because most of the time a 60-inch wingspan is around 675 to 700 squares. Now I'm not sure because I'm not a mathematician. You'll have to ask Brett. But it's kind of like cubic volume. If you have a real thick wing root like a Pattern Master or something like that, the airplane's weight goes up exponentially. Don't ask me why. There's just more wood. But there's more area to paint. And that's where people mess up. They don't consider the fact of how much paint weighs. When I say that I put on a 6-ounce finish, ask John Jordan if I put on a 6-ounce finish. That's it. Because I only use 1 quart of dope. That's 1 quart of clear and 1/2 pint of color. That's it. If you go over that, you have a 10-ounce finish, 16-ounce finish, 18-ounce finish. When you look at Kenny Stevens' airplane, it's absolutely gorgeous. It has a 36-inch finish. It's a deep shine. It looks like urethane, but it has a gallon of clear on it. 1 gallon. That means 2 gallons thinned. 1 full gallon. And I've heard people say, well, that only weighs an ounce. Well, then you ain't weighing because it don't weigh an ounce. 1 gallon, I don't know how many coats that is, but it's a bunch. So The bigger the airplane, the more area for paint. So you got to use my diet method on the paint job if you want to stay light. 40-ounce airplane for 40 cubic inches, 0.40 cubic inches. Well, depends. If the airplane has a 36-inch wingspan, it should weigh, 36 ounces. I mean, but that's kind of odd too, because a Nobler has a 50-inch wingspan, and you got a good flying Nobler if you have a 40-ounce airplane. But most of those airplanes, especially Greenbox, the old Top Flight Greenbox Noblers, came out 50 plus. And if you got a Chipmunk, like I had Tom Warden's last airplane that he built, I gave it to a guy in our club. Matter of fact, I gave it to Frank. Wait a minute. And I ain't seen him in a while. Thomas. I gave it to Thomas Casey. Anyway, that was Tom Warden's last airplane, and it weighed 60 ounces. And that was a Chipmunk. That was way, way too heavy. Tom was an unusual guy, flew in an unusual way, and if my memory serves me right, his Continental was super heavy too. Okay, let me get out the router. Move a little stuff around here. Okay. Move my rape jig out of the way. Yeah, we'll get back to that shortly. Okay, I bought one of these Dremel router tables. You guys, that have shops or whatever probably got something better, but this is what I got. This works. Let me get the scale out of the way. We don't need that anymore. I know what it weighs. I got a feeling something might fall down. Get the water off the table. Now I got to find my Dremel tool. Yeah, we may not be able to route that today. I don't think this. Yeah, this. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it does. And we'll see if this one works. Okay, that part works. I got a router, a Dremel that goes in this. I don't know if this one will go in or not. It does. Good. Good shape so far. Okie dokie. Okay. You're gonna have to buy yourself some Dremel router bits, and you're gonna want to use the round over bit like that. Round over bit like that. Now this is a trick to do to get it set up. That's a pain in the butt is what it is. But I've done this a few times, so hopefully it's set already. Couple of my bar clamps. Okay. Okie dokie. So, you want to run a test piece first. Can you see what I'm doing here? Let's see. I'm really working at a disadvantage. Okay, that puts it down the center. We can't have that. So, get a little electricity here. Get the trash can under this so it catches some of the dust. I got the bug man coming tomorrow, so I had to clean up the apartment today. Okay, low RPM. It's not, doesn't need to scream. Let's see what it looks like. You got one chance, so that needs to go over just a little bit more. Need to make 2 passes, one on each side. Let's try that. I guess that'll work. You gotta hold it right flat on the bench and up against the fence. If you screw this up, you might as well throw it away. Now if you look here, it's cut to one side. Well, we're going to turn it around and come back on the other side. This is all I do with this. The only job this thing does is this. So now we're going to make one more pass. We're going to do the center and then sand it. Close. That's pretty good. And I gotta run the vacuum for a minute. It does make a little dust. Everybody understand what transpired there? I mean, it's not a mystery. So let's take this apart. Let's unplug this so I don't cut my finger off. Take it out of this. Oh, shoot. Shoot, I missed some of the dust. Yeah, let me get the vacuum again. Damn. Okay. Oh, it's raining out there pretty good now. Let's see, a gallon of paint has to weigh more than a gallon of water, 7 pounds, yes. But you got to take into account that some of it gases off. So I need to put this back together. You know, I had the old Dremel, the basic Dremel, and it worked. I have a couple of them. It served me pretty good for years, but I must say that this new style Dremel is better. I didn't know if it would work in my router, but it did. I still got to get this cleaned up before the bug man comes. Let me put this back. Oh, I know where the router is. It's in that box right there. Yeah, it makes it tough when you're in a one-room apartment. Yep, Susie Homemaker. Okay, I now need to find my dowel or something to sand with. I guess we can use this. It's kind of big. An X-Acto knife. Oh, wait a minute. We'll use this. The drill bit. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about cleaning up, but they're coming into the apartments tomorrow, so I gotta, if I don't want to get thrown out, I gotta be a little clean. If you do it this way, it's dead center because you made 2 passes, one on each side, and then cleaned up the center of it. It looks like we're going to go over an hour again. Won't get that other one made today, the other. I'll make that tomorrow night while you guys are doing Hangout with Charles. You guys watch that Hangout with Charles? Let me know in the chat session. Okay. So I need to grind this out just a smidge. And a little more. Everything's hand fit. You know, don't be afraid to test and refit, because everything is hand fit. But do be careful, because there's plenty of taking off tools. There's not many putting back on tools. Yeah, you can glue a piece of wood on it, but it'll never look right. Okay. So that's basically what we got there. That knuckle, it'll fit right down in there perfect. And like I say, this hinging system came about in a pretty weird way, and I'm sure that I'm not the first to think of it, because Ron O'Toole of Tucker fame told me about it in '91, and I couldn't grasp what he was talking about until 20 years later. And I swear, I wish I had a video cam of the movie when the light bulb went off, because I was not even thinking about hinging. I was just sitting on the couch going, I got it! And I jumped up and I went upstairs. I mean, that's the most delayed reaction that you could ever have. 20 years. So there you have the groove. Grooved in there, but you know, it's pretty simple. And this is the socket. This is the ball. Fits in like so. You have 0 hinge gap, and it stays that way throughout the movement as long as you have it recessed back in. Let's see here. We're going to need to cut this round a little bit more. Okay. The Dremel that I have the original, and then I have the 4000. I like the 4000. It's pretty good. Now you can dink with this for hours to make it perfect, and I probably will, but I won't do it on camera. because I know that'll drive you guys nuts. And we got 4 minutes to the hour. Let's see what this weighs, see if it lost any weight. Should have lost a little. We go mode. 215, and this weighs 6.5. 2. I got to sand about a 1/4 ounce off of that, so that might come off with the leading edge and the rounding of the tips. And I got to sand these a little bit thinner. These need to lose a little weight. Needs to lose this needs to lose 6 grams. Oh, this is the heavy one, so yeah, it needs to lose 6 grams. I don't think we can get that much off of it. But we'll give her what for. I'm using 3/32 wood. It's probably best to use 16th, but I didn't have any 4-inch wide 16th, so we used the lightest 3/32 I got, and I got a 64th to sand. I got actually 32nd to sand from both sides, so all it takes is labor, you know. Well, that about does it for this show. It's 59 minutes, 20 seconds. So, unless you guys got any questions, I guess we'll wrap it up for today. But you got to see the skin put on, the shape, and the trailing edge cut on that. So, we have, what, this is the 3rd hour. We'll have 4 hours in building this stab. You know, that's quite a bit of time, but yes, check in tomorrow night. We like to see you once in a while. Yeah. But I have some things left to do on the Susie Homemaker side today. I need to go to the grocery store, and I probably should have done laundry, but I'll do that tomorrow because it's just the way it is. It's raining out, it's crappy. So, till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.